Being a citizen of a democratic nation like the United States comes with certain duties and responsibilities. While we enjoy numerous rights and freedoms, we also have obligations to uphold the principles that make our society function. As citizens, we must actively participate in the democratic process, respect diversity and the rights of others, and be willing to serve and sacrifice for the greater good. One of the most fundamental responsibilities of citizenship is civic engagement. This means being an active participant in the democratic process and working to promote the common good of society. A key aspect of this is voting in elections at all levels of government. By exercising our right to vote, we have a voice in choosing our leaders and shaping the policies that affect our communities. However, civic engagement goes beyond just voting. It also involves staying informed on important local, national, and global issues that impact our lives. This means seeking out reliable sources of information, thinking critically about the news and events unfolding around us, and forming educated opinions on matters of public policy. An uninformed citizenry poses a risk to democracy. Additionally, citizens should look for opportunities to participate directly in the democratic process. This could involve attending town hall meetings, joining civic organizations, or contacting elected officials to make our voices heard on the issues that matter most to us. By engaging in this way, we help to hold our leaders accountable and ensure that our government remains responsive to the will of the people. Finally, an important aspect of civic engagement is promoting the common good through community service and volunteerism. Whether it's volunteering at a local food bank, mentoring youth, or cleaning up a public park, these acts of service strengthen the fabric of our communities and cultivate a spirit of shared responsibility among citizens. Another critical responsibility of citizenship is respecting diversity and the rights of others. The United States is a nation of immense cultural, racial, and religious diversity, and our strength lies in our ability to embrace and celebrate these differences. As citizens, we have a duty to understand and appreciate the diverse backgrounds and perspectives that make up our society. This means being open to learning about different cultures, religions, and ways of life, and actively working to combat prejudice, discrimination, and intolerance in all forms. Respect for diversity also extends to respecting the fundamental rights and freedoms enshrined in our Constitution, such as freedom of speech, religion, and assembly. While we may not always agree with others' viewpoints or beliefs, we must uphold their right to express themselves peacefully and without fear of persecution. Engaging in civil discourse and disagreement is an essential part of a healthy democracy. When we encounter viewpoints that differ from our own, it is our responsibility as citizens to approach these differences with empathy, open-mindedness, and a willingness to listen and understand. Respectful dialogue and the exchange of ideas are vital for fostering mutual understanding and finding common ground. Throughout our nation's history, citizens have been called upon to serve and sacrifice for the greater good. This sense of duty and shared responsibility has been a defining characteristic of American citizenship. One of the most significant examples of this is the draft and compulsory military service. During times of war and national crisis, generations of Americans have answered the call to serve in the armed forces, putting their lives on the line to defend our nation's security and ideals. While the draft is no longer active, the willingness to serve and make sacrifices for the country remains a core value of citizenship. Beyond military service, citizens also have an obligation to contribute to the strength and resilience of our society through various forms of civic service. This could include volunteering with organizations that support veterans, disaster relief efforts, or programs that address social issues like poverty, homelessness, or education inequality. Service to our communities and fellow citizens is not just about giving back. It's about recognizing our interdependence and collective responsibility for the well-being of society. By actively participating in civic service initiatives, we help to create a more just, equitable, and compassionate nation. Additionally, the obligation of service and sacrifice extends to upholding the values and principles enshrined in our Constitution. This means being willing to make personal sacrifices, whether through peaceful protest, civil disobedience, or other forms of activism, to defend our democratic ideals and hold our leaders accountable when they stray from the path of justice and equality. Throughout our history, countless citizens have made immense sacrifices. From the abolitionists who fought to end slavery to the civil rights activists who risked their lives to secure equal rights for all Americans, to the whistleblowers and dissidents who have exposed corruption and injustice. Their willingness to put the greater good above personal interests exemplifies the highest ideals of American citizenship. The duties and responsibilities of citizenship are multifaceted and essential to maintaining a vibrant and healthy democracy. By actively engaging in the democratic process, respecting diversity and the rights of others, and embracing a spirit of service and sacrifice, we can uphold the principles that have made our nation a beacon of freedom and opportunity for generations. Being a good citizen is not merely about enjoying the benefits of our society. It's about actively contributing to its betterment and working to create a more just, equitable, and inclusive nation for all. It is a lifelong journey of civic participation, empathy, and a commitment to the greater good. As citizens, we all have a role to play in shaping the future of our communities and our country.